Very good morning, students. In today's session, we will see how we can do the setup for Java. I mean, how we can download and how we can install the Java programming, Java packages into our computer so that we can do the execution of Java programs. Okay, there are different ways in which we can do the execution of Java programs. We will discuss the basic approach, how we can execute the Java programs only with the help of packages without using any IDEs. That we will discuss, and we also discuss how to execute the Java programs using there is a lightweight tool called Edit Plus. Using Edit Plus, how we can execute Java programs, that also we discuss. Okay, so the problem with IDEs with reference to Java is that they are heavyweight. Okay, when you download, when you try to install an IDE like my Eclipse, my NetBeans, and this VS Code and all, they will come up with a lot of packages, unnecessary packages, which we nowhere use in our programming practice. Okay, so they generally what they will do, what these IDEs will do means they will slow down your PC. So it is a big problem. Okay, it is a big headache, I mean to say, maintaining such IDEs into your computer only to practice the basic level Java programs. So that's the reason I will not recommend. If your PC is having some good hardware configuration, then only go for this IDEs. Okay, VS Code is the best IDE, and it is not going to consume that many resources as you think. So I suggest, if at all you want to do the IDE job, if at all you want to execute your Java programs on IDE, go for VS Code. Okay, that is the least option that I can give. Okay, and this my Eclipse and NetBeans, they will consume a lot of computer resources and they will simply slow down your computer. Okay, even if you are not using those packages, they will simply slow down your computer. So don't go for such applications. Okay, so that's the reason for the initial programs, I mean for the starting programs in this Java course, will be using the basic utility, that is only the packages. You are not going to depend on any IDE. Only normal packages we will use in order to execute our Java programs. Okay, so once we advance in our syllabus, like from your third unit, we need to go for the um, IDEs. Over at that time, I try to use the VS Code. Okay, so for now, let's just start the session, and we'll see what steps we have to follow in order to install the Java, in order to configure the Java in our computer. So, so environment setup and for Java. Okay, for in order to make Java functional into our computer, what steps we have to follow and how we can get it into our computer, those things we will discuss here. Okay, so in order to make the Java functional into our computer, we need to follow these 4 steps. So the first step, if you see, that is check whether Java is installed into our computer or not. Any prior version of Java is existing into our computer or not, we need to check that one. Then we have to download the version of Java from the internet, and after download we have to install the Java version. Then we have to do the path setting. These 4 things we have to do in order to work with Java programming. Okay, the first one, check the previous version and download the Java version from the internet and install the Java version into our computer. Then do path setting for Java inside environment variables. All these 4 steps I will show you in today's session. So let's just start the first step, that is checking whether the Java is installed in our computer or not. So to do that one, we have 2 commands. One is Java command. It will show the installation, whether the Java is installed or not into our computer. That we can check with the help of Java command. And the other one is Java C. It will show the path setting. Remember this one. This is very, very important. Path setting. So Java will show the installation status, and Java C will show the path setting status. Whether you have done the path setting or not, using this Java C command you can come to know. And whether the Java is installed in our computer or not, that you can, with using this Java command, you can come to know. So first you need to check with Java. If Java is working, if Java is recognized by the command prompt, that means the installation of Java is successfully done. And if Java C is also recognized by the command prompt, then that means path setting is also has been done. Two things has been done. So failing any of these, what will happen? If, let us assume, if the installation has not been done, then when you type the Java, your command prompt will not recognize Java command. Okay, assume that installation you have done but path setting you have not done. Then what will happen? Java command will be recognized by the command prompt, but Java C will not be recognized by the command prompt. So that is what. So first, as you can see, I have not done, so far I have not done anything, neither the installation nor the path setting. So when I'm typing Java, I'm getting this error. Java is not recognized as an internal and external command. And when I'm typing Java C, I'm getting again error. Java C is also not recognized as an internal and external command. That means neither the installation has been done nor the path setting has been done. Remember this one. So the next thing, yes, if the Java is not there in your computer, definitely you have to visit the internet and you have to download the Java version. So simply type this URL. Previously Java was owned by Sun Microsystem. It is open source basically, but previously it was owned by, the complete rights was owned by Sun Microsystems, but now it is owned by Oracle people. Okay, Oracle people have purchased the Java rights, so now it is under Oracle. Okay, whether it is from Sun Microsystem or from Oracle, it is open source. Open source means you don't need any kind of license in order to work with Java. Okay, you can simply download the packages and you can start doing programming in Java. Okay, nobody will ask you why you have downloaded and why you are doing the programming. Okay, so likewise, so in order to download, simply visit this website, and once you open this URL using any of the browser, you will get this website. Okay, in this website, my Windows is of 64-bit, so I'm downloading this particular package. Okay, click on this one. So immediately it will, when you click on this one, it will ask you to accept the license agreement. So that is over here. So check this checkbox. Okay, put the right mark over here like this, and then click on this download button. Okay, click on this button. So when you click on this button, it will ask you to sign in. Okay, you need an Oracle account in order to download this Java, and Oracle account you can create free of cost. So here, by simply visiting this link, create account link, you can have your own Oracle account, and using that Oracle account credentials like username and password, you can log in into your account. Once you put the valid, I mean correct username and password and click on sign in, it will start the download process. It will start that Java file, which is of 168 MB. You can see over here. This file will be downloaded to your computer. So once the file is downloaded, you can go to the third step, that is installing the Java. So in order to install, what we have to do, simply double click on the downloaded backup file, this particular file. Simply double click on this one. So when you double click on this one, what will happen? It will start the installation process. So it will show this window where it is describing what exactly it is installing. So that is Java SE Development Kit 8, version 8. So I recommend downloading version 8 only always. Okay, so we have till 15, I think 15, Java 15 is currently working, but I don't recommend to go with Java 15. Go with Java 8 only, that's more than enough for us. Okay, so SE stands for Standard Edition Development Kit 8, version 8. So simply click on next. So after that, it will give some processing, and it will ask you to select the destination folder where you want to put these Java files. So don't change anything over here. Whatever default folder location it is showing, that is under program files, Java, and followed by the JRE version. So don't change anything over here. Simply click on next. Okay. So again it will do some processing and it will complete the installation over here. Okay, simply click on this close to complete the installation process. Once the Java installation is complete, so you can check the Java command now. You can check the Java command inside command prompt. Previously it was not recognized. Okay, we got the issue that Java was not recognized as an internal and external command. But when we are typing Java now inside the command prompt, it is giving some options over here, listing of some options over here. So this indicates that Java is successfully installed into our computer. Installation was successful. With this we can conclude installation successful. Okay, hopefully you understood. So once the installation is done, still it is not ready for execution of Java programs or compilation of Java programs. Still one more command need to work, that is Java C command. Even after the installation, when you type the Java C command, you still get this type of error. Java C is not recognized as an internal or external command. It is again an issue into your computer. So what we have to do, we have to make that Java C also functional. How we can make that Java C also functional, in the sense by doing the path setting. We have to do the path setting. The fourth and the last step, which is path setting. How we can do the path setting, in the sense, simply you have to right click on your my computer icon, that is this PC icon. In Windows 10 we call the my computer as this PC, isn't it? So simply right click on this PC, then select properties, the last option, and from that properties, okay, when you click on the properties you will get this window. And in this window, if you see right side, you have this menu items. So in these menu items you have to select the advanced system settings option. Advanced system setting options you have to select. So when you select this advanced system settings, you will get this system properties. Okay, system properties. From these system properties, you have to select the advanced tab. What tab you have to select? You have to select the advanced tab. So this tab here we have like computer name, hardware, advanced, system protection, remote. Among these five, you have to select the advanced tab. So when you select the advanced tab, you will get this environment variables here. Click on this environment variables. So when you click on this environment variables, you will get this window, another window. So here you will be having two parts. One is user variable for PC and system variables. So we have to do the modifications in both. In user variables also we have to do some modification, and in system variables also we have to do some modification. First we do inside user variables. Here inside user variables you need to add a new variable with name Java home. Okay, so how we can add the new variable, in the sense, simply click on this new button. There is a new button, click on this new button. So when you click on this new button, it will open like this, a small window, new user variable window will appear. Okay, new user variable window will appear. So inside that, two things you have to put. One is username and the other one is variable value. Okay, sorry, variable name, variable value. Variable name you keep as Java underscore home, all capitals, Java underscore home. Then variable value, you have to put this path, this location, the installed Java folder location, where you have installed the Java, that location you have to put. So where it is, inside C drive for me. Okay, it may be different for you, but for me it is inside C drive, program files, Java we have, then JDK folder, like this. So if I go there and I show you that one, let's cut this thing, minimize, this thing also minimize, go over here inside this PC. Okay, then go to C drive, then go to program files, then Java, then JDK 1.8. This path, this complete location you need to copy from here and you need to paste in that folder. I mean in that variable value text box over here you have to paste. So after doing these two things, click on OK. Okay, click on OK. So when you click on OK, again you will come back to this location. I mean you will come back to this window. So over here you can see whatever entry you have done for this Java home variable, that entry you can see over here. Okay, So now we have to do some modification inside the system variables as well. So user variables modification is over. Now we have to do some modification inside system variables. And what modification we have to do in the sense, inside system variables, look for this path variable. Path variable. Select that path and click on edit. Okay. So what we have to do, select this path variable and click on edit. So actually I thought of showing the complete installation and path setting in real time. Okay, while as I am doing, I thought of recording it, but it is not allowing me. My OBS application, it is not allowing me. Whenever I am visiting some website to download the Java, my OBS is getting stuck. And whenever I am trying to install the Java into my computer, and during that installation process, again my OBS is getting stuck. So because of that reason, I'm not doing it. I took the screenshots and I'm properly kept those screenshots inside the PPT, and I'm showing it to you. Hopefully you try to understand that one. So it is not at all an issue. I mean, if you follow these steps, I mean, I'm not missing any of the steps, and I kept all the steps over here. Okay, so you will not face any difficulty when you do the, I mean, when you try to follow these same steps in order to install the Java into your computer. Okay, so click on this path variable and click on edit. Okay, so when you click on that edit, you will get this window, and over here, yeah, all these existing variables you have to put as it is. Don't change anything to these existing variables. They have to remain intact. They have to remain unchanged from here to here. Whatever we have, I mean, maybe in your computer you may have some different entries. So what I am saying is, whatever entries you have, you don't change anything to them. So in order to add the new entries over here, you have to click on this new button. Okay, you have to click on this new button, and over here you have to add 4 entries. Okay, 4 new variables you have to create. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, 4 new entries you have to create over here. So how many times you have to click on new? 4 times you have to click on new, but one after the other. Don't click 4 times and expect that it will take the 4 entries together. It will not take 4 entries together. One after the other you have to. First you have to make the first entry by clicking on this new button, then come again to this location and click on new button. So that second entry you have to, third entry you have to, and finally the fourth entry. And what entries you have to do in the sense, these 4 folder locations once again. So inside program files, inside Java, we have JDK, and inside JDK we have bin, and inside that same JDK we have lib, and inside JDK we have JRE folder and one bin, and inside JDK JRE folder another lib. So 2 bins from JDK, one bin, one lib from JDK, and one bin, one lib from JRE. I will show that location to you now. Discard this, minimize this. Okay, see here we are already in Java folder, and inside Java we have JDK. So inside JDK there is bin, there is lib, 2 locations. Okay, one is bin, one is lib, 2 locations. And inside this JDK only we have JRE also. As you can see here we have JRE. So inside JRE 2 more locations, bin and lib. So overall 4 directory locations you need to add over here to your path variable. How many? 4 directory locations. So that I have done. Here you can see inside JDK we have added bin, inside JDK we have added lib. Okay, one bin folder, one lib folder. Then inside JRE one bin, inside JRE one lib. So overall how many? 4 directory locations I'm adding to this path variable of system variables. Okay, then click on this OK, then this OK, then finally this OK. 3 times you have to click OK button. First this one, second this one, and finally third time this one. So when you click on this, yeah, with that we have done the path setting over. Okay, so then again come back to command prompt, open the command prompt, go to run and type cmd. It will open the command prompt. So now you type java c also. Okay, now as you can see, when I'm typing java c, it is recognizing java c as an internal command, and it is showing some options related to java c command. Okay, unlike the previous case, it is not giving any issues, any errors over here right now. Hopefully you understood. So yeah, with this we have completed the installation and path setting for Java. So now the Java is ready for program execution. Okay, program execution you can do. So I will show you some random commands over here. Go to the command prompt and type Java. That means Java installation is done successfully. Then type Java C. That means path setting is been done successfully. And I will show you how you can go to that environment variables. Already I have shown the folder location where I have installed, my Java. That folder location I have shown inside this PC. You need to go to C drive. Okay, then program files. Don't go for program files x86 because we have installed the 64-bit version of Java. So you have to go to program files only. And if your Windows is 32-bit, then you have to go for x86 version of Java. Download x86 version of Java. That means from this, here I will show you. Here on the website, instead of downloading 64-bit version, you have to download 86 version if your Windows is of 32-bit Windows. Okay, x86 is for 32-bit Windows, x64 is for x86 is for 32-bit, x64 is for 64-bit. Okay, like that you have to remember. This is for 32-bit and this is for 64-bit. First you have to check whether your Windows is of 32-bit or 64-bit. Accordingly you have to download the package. So once the package downloaded, installed, path setting has been done, so you can go and you can check the what we call from program files inside that Java, and here we have JDK and JRE. Like that you have to remember the locations, and those locations where you have to add in the sense, right click on my computer, this PC, right click, then go to properties. Here this window will open, and here advanced system settings, this window will open. Go to the advanced tab, then environment variables, this window will open. As you can see here, I have added one variable inside user variables, that is Java home. Then in path I have edited this one by adding this bin lib. These 4 entries I have done, last 4 entries I have done, and I made the previous settings unchanged. I have not changed the previous settings. Then click on OK first time, OK second time, OK third time. Now close this one, open the command prompt. How we can? Windows R. If you press Windows R, it will open the run window. Okay, run window. Then type here CMD. Okay, then click on OK. So it will open the command prompt. Then Java, hit enter. Java C, hit enter. So both the commands are working. So my Java setup is successfully done. So now I will write one simple Java program, and I will try to execute that Java program using the packages. So for that, what I have to do? So simply create one directory, a folder. Okay, I am creating my folder CSC space IT. Okay, so into this folder, Java programs we write using normal notepad. Using IDEs also we can do, but in basic execution we'll go with notepad. So open one notepad application. So like this, just double click this one. So this is my notepad. Okay, here only we have to write our program. So I'm writing my program, class sample demo. My class name I have given sample demo. Then I'm writing main method, public static void main of string arguments. So all these things you will understand, don't you bother. Then put inside public method, put one output statement, print system.out.println of hello world. Okay, then close the public method, then close the public class. See, you may have more number of classes into a Java program. As many classes you want, that many classes you can take, but one and only one class need to have the public method, that is main method. Okay, one and only one class need to have the main method, and the class which is having the main method, we call that class as the public class. It is having a special role in your Java program because this is the initiating point for your program, we can say. And for this class we don't create any object. This class will be executed automatically, okay, by the virtual machine. This class will be executed automatically, and this is the initial point of execution into your Java program. Okay, so for that reason, the program name, because already I have written my code and now I want to save my code. So when you save the code, the program name, when you give, you must remember this one, you must give the program name same as your public class name followed by the .java extension. Okay, so take the sample demo, control C, copy that one, then save as. Here inside CSC IT only I am saving inside my directory. I have created this directory on the desktop. So inside this directory only I am saving my program, that is control V, that is sample demo dot java. Sample demo dot java I have taken my file name. So now click on save. Okay, the program got saved. As you can see, sample demo dot java, when you give, it will save your file as a Java source file. As you can see over here, previous file, this file is a text document, but now sample demo, it is Java source file. So like this you can save the Java source file. So now once the file is saved, what I have to do, I have to compile this file and I have to show the output from this file. So how I can do? So again, the compilation, execution for these things we will do from the what we call from the command prompt itself. So Windows R, go to the command prompt. So this will open the command prompt. So over here you check the location, users PC, but our location is something different. I want to shift to this location. So what I have to do? Simply copy this path, control C, path get copied, then come to command prompt and type cd over here, give space and control V. Okay, so this entire path I want to change to this location. Hit the enter key. Now I am in CSC and IT. So to check whether my file is existing into that location or not, simply type dir. So as you can see, sample.java text document it is showing and sample.java it is showing. So what I have to do now, I have to compile my file. So how I can? Java C space sample demo dot java, hit enter. See, I'm not getting any issues because I don't have any errors in my program. That's the reason I'm not getting any issues. So I will wantedly create some errors into my program just to show how the compiler will, how the interpreter, Java interpreter will edit my, check my errors. So here what I will do, I will make this as some spelling mistake. Instead of static, I have given some spelling mistake, and instead of this system as capital, system dot out, and this T I will remove. So wantedly I am doing some mistakes. So save it, minimize it, come to here and try to compile once again. See, we are getting errors now. So what it is showing, the error, uh, yes, it is giving an error as here in this particular line. In this particular line it is giving errors. So that is static spelling mistake we have done. So it is not even considering the main as a method because we have done the declaration mistake over here. In the declaration we have given some spelling mistake, so that's the reason it is not even considering the main as the method. So two errors it is giving. For this single reason, two errors it is giving. And moreover, you have to notice one more thing, both the errors it is showing inside the same line. And we have also committed one mistake inside this line, system.out.println. Here also we have committed some mistakes, but it is not showing those mistakes. The reason, your interpreter, Java interpreter, it will consider your entire program line by line. First it has executed this line, no error. So it went to the second line, no errors. Then it went to the third line. In third line we got that error. So it is listing that error. Okay, so it is listing that error, and once we edit those errors, it will list the further errors. So just you make that static as correct, save it, once again come over here and put that thing, See, now that error we have removed, so it went to the next line. So these lines we made without errors. So then it went to the fourth line, no errors. Then it went to the fifth line. Again here, this system, it is a package and this S needs to be capital over here. That's the reason it is not. Package system does not exist. It is giving error over here. Package system does not exist. So small system does not small s system does not exist, but capital S when you put, it will show. And further, as it is not recognizing this package, it is not looking for the internal stuff, that is out, println. Still we have the issue over here, println. It is not listing that one. So once I correct this thing, it will list this thing. Just see. I am going to this one and I am correcting that one. System.out.println. So now again save it, come over here, compile it. See, println is not a method. Okay, method println is a error. Undefined method it is saying. So now system is recognized, out is recognized, println it is not recognized. That's the reason it is giving error over there. So then correct that one also, println. Now go to compile and save. Now come back over here. See, we got no issues now. So that means my program execution is successful. Hopefully you understood. So let me just try to increase the font because it is, yes, now it is visible, hopefully. So now we didn't get any issues over here. Okay, you want me to increase more? 28. Oh, yeah, this is enough. So like this we can. So for compilation we have to use javac command along with extension .java. .java is also we have to give. File name followed by .java also we have to give. And for compilation, javac command we use. See, when we do the successful compilation, if you don't get any issues, you will get inside your directory where you have written your program, inside your directory where you have saved your program source file, there only you will get another file with name with extension .class file we will get. Okay, same name .class. So this thing, this class file is an bytecode file. So your JVM will consider only this bytecode file. Your JVM will execute only this bytecode file. And this bytecode file you can copy from one computer to another computer, and with the help of JVM you can check the output anywhere in the network. Anywhere, in any platform. Whether it is a mobile device, whether it is a computer, whether it is a Linux system, whether it is a Macintosh system, whatever it is, you can see the output just by making use of the JVM over there from this bytecode .class file. So now what I have to do, in order to check the output, I will use the command Java. Java command we have to use. And for Java command, we should not pass the source file. We have to pass the .class file. Okay, we have to pass the .class file. So if I put sample demo.java, it will give source file, but I need to pass class file. So how I can? Sample demo, don't give any extension, don't give any extension, simply put sample demo, that's it. Hit the enter key. So we got hello world. You can see we got the output from the program, hello world. Like this we execute the Java programs. Okay, this is the basic approach without any IDE. Just with the help of notepad we have written the program, and directly with the help of command prompt by making use of Java packages we have executed our program, compiled and executed our program. Hopefully you understood. Okay, so this is the first way, using only the basic packages to execute our Java program. There is another way. There is a second way, using the lightweight utility. I should not call it as an IDE. It is a utility basically. So that utility is nothing but your NetBeans. Okay, NetBeans utility we use in order to execute our Java programs. Sorry, not NetBeans, Edit Plus. Okay, NetBeans, it is an IDE. It is a wonderful IDE. If your system supports, if your system is having 8 GB of RAM and more than 3 GHz speed processor, then definitely go for IDEs. Okay, they are wonderful. You can easily execute all the Java programs in IDEs without much hesitation. Okay, without much hectic work. but we need to know the hectic work, how exactly it will run. I mean, how exactly the Java program will run in our computer. That also we need to know. That's the reason I'm showing this basic approach. Okay. So using Edit Plus, I'm opening the Edit Plus. So first of all, we need to configure this Edit Plus so as to execute the Java programs. For that reason, what I have to do, yes, I need to add the compiler, Java compiler, as well as Java executor, Java run command into my Edit Plus. So when you, this Edit Plus you can easily get on the internet, you can download and you can install. Okay, it is very easy. Okay, once you install, just double click it to open. You will get this type of environment, and over here go to the tools. You have over here menu items. Inside these menu items, just go to tools. Inside the tools, go to configure user tools. Okay, menu bar, tools, configure tools, user tools. Click on that one. So over here, yes, over here, come to this site, and here you have group name, add tools. Okay, click on add tools, select program. Okay, so it is asking, it is giving new program over here, giving the name as new program. So just make it as Java compiler, because first we add the compiler. So what command we use to compile the Java programs? Java C command. That Java C command will be available inside your this PC. Okay, come over here, your installation folder, inside Java will have JDK, then bin. Inside bin will be having both, as you can see here, Java C we are having and Java we are having, both the commands. We simply have to give inside the compiler window. Over here we are configuring both compiler as well as Java run. Both we will, Java compile, Java run, both we will configure. So when you compile, when you put the configuration for compiler, put the command as Java C, isn't it? Command as Java C. But that Java C, where exactly it is located, that location we have to give here. So click on these three dots. Okay, after clicking on the three dots, yes, you can see here I'm starting from C drive. Inside the C drive, okay, I'm starting from this PC. Inside this PC we have local disk C. Double click that one. Then we have where is Java, no, program files. Inside program files, then Java JDK bin. Here you have Java C. Select this Java C and click on open. So that complete path will be added over here. Okay, then arguments, what argument we are passing? Okay, after Java C, what thing we are typing? We are typing the file name followed by extension, isn't it? Java C, file name followed by extension. So argument we are giving as file name. Where it is? Here it is. File name you select. Argument what we are giving? We are giving file name. So that file name you can put over here. Then initial directory. So under which directory you have saved your files, that directory location you have to give. Our directory is on the desktop and the directory name is cscit. So select the directory location over here. Initial directory is, okay, browse. Don't go file directory, go to browse. Browse, and on this PC we have cscit. See here. On the desktop we have cscit. I'm selecting that cscit and clicking on OK. So that location. Okay, that location. So now click on apply. Okay, OK. So you can see that Java compile command, compiler now here. So using this Java compiler you can compile the program. So now we have to add the Java command. This is Java C command. Now we have to add the Java command, that is run command. So click on again configure user tools. You will get this window. Go to add tool, program, and here you give the name as Java underscore run. Okay, Java underscore run. And what command? Java command. So go to that location again and take the Java command and click on open. So this got opened. Then arguments, we have to pass the file name, but we should not give the extension, isn't it? File name without extension. For Java compiler, we have given the file name, but here file name without extension. So click on this down triangle. Here you can see file name without extension. Previously we gave file name, but now file name without extension. Click on that. So file name, no extension. Then initial directory, same thing. We have to give that cscit directory only, because there only we are saving the class files as well. So this directory we have given. Now click on apply. Okay. So both the commands we have added. So now I want to write my Java program over here. So how I can? Simply go to file, new, normal text. Okay, new normal text. Now save this. Okay, where I have to save? Inside that cscit directory only I have to save. So go to the desktop. So inside desktop we have cscit directory. Here only we have to save. So again, what name I am giving? Some sample demo we have given for the previous file, isn't it? So now I want to give example demo. Example, or edit plus we are doing now. Edit plus demo. Edit plus demo dot java. Edit plus demo dot java. Click on save. So now when I write my program, I have to give my class name, public class name, same like edit plus demo. Okay, same as edit plus demo, because my program name is edit plus demo. So class edit plus demo. In it, write your system dot out dot println of hello edit plus. Okay, close this like this. But before this we have to start, I forgot actually, that is my main method, public static void main of string arguments like this and like this. Then this should come, and close this and close this. Okay, so process the last line as well. So like this. So now save it. So now quickly go and try to compile it. Tools, Java compiler. See, when you get this type of message, press any key to continue. Simply press it. So that means we didn't get any issues. So put some issues and see. I'm making this as system as small letters. Now save it. Again you go and compile. Yes, we got that error message over here. System is not a package. Package system does not exist. So here this is an error. So what I have to do, I have to make this S as capital. So if there are any errors, it will list those errors over here. Okay, simply hit the enter key and make it as capital S. So now save, compile, compilation successful. Now run, Java run. You can see the output, hello edit plus. The same message I am printing, so hello edit plus I got on the output screen. So this is how, see, mostly we use this edit plus only to execute our programs, our Java programs. Okay, hopefully you understood. Hopefully you will do the setup in the same way in your computer environment also, so that you can practice the Java programs as I do over here. Okay, thank you very much, students.